Episode 1 of this series was crazy and really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. I just have no idea where they're going with it. So, is the show all gonna be like classroom stuff, or is it gonna be now the repercussions of what happened in episode 1? Like, was episode 1 kind of like the prologue? I don't know. I have no idea, you know? So I'm keen to get into this. I'm recording this before I put up any videos on Week Hero Class 1, so I don't know how people have responded to episode 1 so far, but regardless, please make sure to support the video if you want to see more, because, I mean, who knows? Who knows if I mean, there's only 8 episodes of this show, so I feel like I can do the entire series pretty easily, but please make sure to support the video so that I know if this is the sort of thing that you like. But also, if you want to see the full-length versions of these reactions as well as early access, you can go on my Patreon account in the description below right now, so you can probably, hopefully, if this all goes right, get episode 3 on my Patreon account right now if you're watching episode 2 on YouTube. So yeah, I'm not going to spend as long as I did last video explaining myself. I'm just going to jump into this episode. So yeah, please support the channel and let's do it. Episode 2 of Week Hero Class 1. Here we go. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So you make him blink. Alright. Oh my god! Careful, he can do a knockout punch. This the teacher? Yep. Sorry, I just kind of almost murdered my classmate.
정말 죄송합니다. 사과드려.
I mean, he's saying that like he's pretending that's what he was doing, but wasn't that actually what he was doing? He just said, I was trying to stop my classmates from fighting, and he was. Okay, so where do we go from here? So do those 3 become friends then? Because the OP, you know, the opening song, opening title sequence shows them all like hanging out and taking a photo together.
네.
죄송합니다.
죄송이 아니라 네 엄마 데려오라니까?
엄마 안 계세요.
내가 소년원에 보낼 거니까 그렇게 알고 있어. 어?
Oh, is this blackmail?
이거 제 목에 붙였어요.
뭔데?
이거 네가 방 맞지?
Oh my god, he just came in here with blackmail. Oh man, it's kind of satisfying seeing how much of a douche the eyebrows guy was. Hey Dad, almost killed someone today. I'm so proud of you, son.
아니에요. 진짜 안 그래요.
This dad actor looks familiar, but I don't know why. Because I don't watch much Korean
자식, 이제
media.
야, 알았어. 쉬어. 사춘기야 뭐야?
I like his dad. And I think he cares as well, you know? I like the music build-up is awesome. Some of the sound design choices in the show so far are really cool.
야, 이 씨발놈아.
Do you really want to do this?
끝나고 좀 보자.
Do you really want to do
방심한 거고 이
this?
치사한 새끼야. 아니 씨발 너 진짜 오늘 뒤졌어.
That is a bad idea. The entire class is going. Is he going somewhere where he has an advantage?
복습을 해야지.
Oh god. Not the pen again. Not the pen again! Pavlov's dog.
총을 올린다. 먹이를 준다. 개가 침을 흘린다.
Oh, so you're giving them PTSD with the pen?
총을 올린다. 먹이를 준다.
Oh my god. He made them both very scared, even though I don't know if you could have taken them otherwise. Because that seemed to be his only plan in his head. This is the drug dealer, right? Isn't it? I'm just going off the hair. As I said, I'm terrible with faces. I wanted drugs.
누군데?
Oh my god. Oh no.
우리 반에 얼마 줄 건데? 형.
Was that your only payment? Was help me, sir?
야, 이거 여기서 나와. 야, 우리 전생에 부부였냐? 어? 어디 가냐?
You mean what am I doing here? I'm on a bus.
뭐?
Okay, good talk, man.
갑자기? 간다. 해보자.
I like that guy. I also appreciate that our main character apologized. I didn't expect that from him. I feel like that was the first like properly human moment I've seen from him. Man, all he wants to do is study, and it looks like no wonder he looks tired all the time. Your life would be tiring if it was only study.
점심시간.
Oh, he's gonna
괜찮아.
treat you to a meal?
밥 사람이요.
Yeah.
안 먹어.
How am I supposed to pay you back if you refuse the meal?
아니 근데 쟤네 진짜 왜 둘이 같이 붙어 다녀? 그러니까 아니 둘이 존나 붙어 다녀. 배친해졌어 그냥.
안 써. MMA 존나 고수래.
He's an MMA expert. Okay, alright.
카운터가 존나 많.
That was kind of the answer that I was looking for. Hero Casino? Awesome. Great job, man.
야. 걔는 언제 나오냐?
Oh my god. Okay, so is he gonna get jumped?
학원은 어디로 다녀? 대명.
He really doesn't want to have a conversation with
학원
him.
하나 끊으려고 하는데.
Oh my god.
아, 졸라 고독하네. 속상하게.
Do they have to take the desks out of the
깨우지
rooms
말라며.
every day? I guess I've seen that happen in some like Asian media before, but is that a common thing to like at the end of every day you put all the desks and stuff and chairs away? Sounds like a nightmare. Just leave them there. Is he gonna try Pavlov's dog?
Yeah.
진짜 미치.
Well, it's not gonna work on the
쪽팔리냐?
tough
좀
guy.
아닌데.
비즈니스니까 이해요.
Oh god. I think he's gonna get beat up here. I think we're just gonna watch him get beat down. I mean, our main character has no preparation, he's just being jumped. Unless what's his name comes in to save him, or if this guy knows how to do something. Oh, both. He can go and get him.
너 뭐 격투기 같은 거 했었다며?
아니, 걔랑 그 정도 사이는 아닌데.
야, 내가 알바비 줄게.
Oh wow. He's feeling really guilty for that, huh?
두 배로 줄게, 두 배.
For the drug thing.
감사합니다.
갑시다.
Do you know where to go?
저 새끼 손 좀 다 찢어줘.
Jesus.
다시는 공부도 못하게.
왼쪽 셋
Oh.
빠르게 제압해야 할 상대.
He's doing the Sherlock Holmes studying.
조건 반사.
Okay, you got paint, you got plants. What can you do with paint and plants?
기선 제압을.
Yeah. Oh. Oh! Oh, wow! Oh! I really like how they set this battle up. Oh! That's sick! Click the pen.
나와.
Oh no, you don't even need to. They're trained.
야,
Oh! Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Come on, where's Suho? What's his name? I think that's his name. Oh! Yeah, Suho. Okay. Oh yeah. I want to see him fight all these guys.
여기까지만 하자.
Oh, they're gonna. Oh, they're not letting it go. This guy's strong. Oh, the choreography is really good. Oh, and the directing is great. We can see everything that's happening. Oh. Oh my god. Nice. Oh. Oh man, the fight is so good. Oh. Oh, you probably need to stop to. Oh. God damn it. Go on! Oh! Nice! Well done! I've forgotten your name, Glasses Boy. But I've got it written. Obam Seok?
나 같으면 쪽팔려서 뒤질 것 같은데.
뭐 하냐고.
안녕?
안녕?
야, 길수한테 전화 왔어.
그만해.
He keeps having simple requests, just stop it. Like,
그만하라고.
all you have to do is stop this.
뭐해?
What, can you have
그런 거야,
3 people
아,
fitting on there?
생명의 연인들한테 너무하네.
Yeah, come on. Break out of your shell a little bit. I live for this.
친구들이요?
안녕하세요.
Damn. They're not even eating? They're just working?
엄마가 엄청 이뻐하시겠다. 아유 예뻐라.
That's cute. That looks amazing.
근데 나도 진짜 그런 건지는 몰랐어. 알아? 괜찮아.
God, that's good. That's really good. And he accepted your apology. He said before, I'm not going to accept your apology, and he did. That meat looks amazing.
그렇게 먹으면 맛있어?
It's like a taco.
유지지.
Very good acting in this scene. Like their casual way of talking to each other is very convincing.
원래 고기는 이렇게. 아 해봐. 아.
맛있었어?
얘가 진짜 뭘 모른다. 음식은 이렇게 손맛으로 오는 거야. 아. 어? 아.
Aww.
고기 진짜 근데 맛있다. 그러니까.
Wow, I think after an awesome fight scene, this is my favorite part of the episode. Just seeing him hang out with some friends, you know? He looks like he was happy, you know, just like a little bit happy there. Oh. I think he's just glad to have friends and not be the target of bullying right now.
야, 이 씹새끼야. 누군데?
What was that? Wow. Woo! I loved that episode. Like really, I loved that episode. I had so much fun. I don't know if it would have come through as much, like how much I was enjoying that episode. And I enjoyed it for, I mean, it had, you know, I think I enjoyed the second half of the episode so much. I barely remember what happened in the first half of the episode, but the second half was all really good. You had I did write down near the start that it was that he had the whole Pavlov's dog thing. So take your pen and you click it, and so the idea is that, you know, I guess with Pavlov's dog, it's like you feed them, you ring a bell. You feed them, you ring a bell. They get like they basically become accustomed to the fact that they hear the bell and that means food, that means hungry, that means eat. And so with you apply that to this, and it's like, hey, the clicking of the pen, like, and me holding this pen means that, like, that pain that you felt, you're gonna remember that pain every time you have me click this pen, you know. So I like that. It's like he's trained those two, that if it's just him and those two guys, he can get them to back off with the click of a pen. So that's pretty cool. I like that. But the funny thing about that is, if they ignored that instinct, that like fear of the clicking of the pen, they had that, you know, like those two could have taken him, I reckon, because really he isn't that strong. He's a weak hero. He's a weak hero class 1. But it doesn't matter, because he basically psychologically, you know, destroyed them where they couldn't do anything. But I really like, I actually want to talk about that in a sec. I'll talk about the fight in a sec. But also the other thing is that he spends so much of his life, like almost all of his life, studying. It's, you know, I wrote down for the character of An Soo-ho, I wrote down next to him as a description of him, so I remembered, I wrote down sleepy, like he's the sleepy dude. But our main character, Yoon Si-eun, Yoon Si-eun is what it would have been. He's tired. Or exhausted. So there's like a difference between exhausted and sleepy. And so it's like the sleepy dude's always sleeping in class and stuff. But with the exception of the very end of this episode, Yoon Si-eun is always awake, but just exhausted. And you can see it in his eyes. The actor does a very good job. I'm sure it's also the makeup and everything, but the actor does a very good job at just like looking tired constantly, you know. It's very, very well done. but like I can feel the exhaustion looking at his face, and he spent all of this time studying. You have to get like delusional at that point. You know, you have to start seeing hallucinations. And so I mean, yeah, I think that's you would be a little disconnected. I think we're gonna see him like soften up and become a better dude as time goes on through having a friendship and stuff, just because like of course there's gonna be like, if you're studying all of the day and there's only one thing getting in the way of studying, and that's these douchebags and stuff, like there's just like you flip a switch and you snap, and it doesn't feel like, and it just like, I feel like he just wouldn't feel anything because he's never feeling anything. But when you're hanging out with your friends and you're eating food and you're laughing and you're joking around, then you have an emotional connection, you're feeling things, so you can control those emotions better than if you're just like closed off all the time. But anyway, let's talk about the fighting, because the fighting was awesome, and I love when scenes set up fights like that. Like, look, okay, so let's talk about it in relation to, I guess, Sherlock Holmes, because I enjoyed the BBC Sherlock show, even though I know there was some problems, especially later in the series with writing and all that sort of stuff. I still enjoyed it. I always just enjoyed it because I was never one to be like, oh, I need to be able to solve the mysteries. I didn't care about solving the mysteries. I didn't really care how they solved the mysteries. I just thought it was fun to be along for the ride. But anyway, something that I wasn't a huge fan of was the Sherlock Holmes movies starring Robert Downey Jr. I just never really liked them very much, and I didn't feel the sort of spectacle of them as much from memory. But I only saw both of them. There's two, right? I only saw both of them once each, I think. So I think maybe I was also younger. I think if I went back, maybe I would like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies more. I barely remember anything that happened, but the only thing that sticks out to me from those movies, the Robert Downey Jr. movies, was the whole idea of Sherlock Holmes when he was doing the boxing scene, and he just like at the very start plans out his entire assault and then executes it, right? And that scene has always stuck in my head, and I still remember it to this day, despite not remembering the rest of both movies. But I do remember that quite well because it was a cool scene, and it was like the sort of thing that I quite like. Deku very occasionally does that sort of stuff in MHA, and there are a few other series which do it occasionally as well, and I always like it. This series, I'm really liking the way they're doing it, and I love that they were like surrounding him, and he immediately was like, okay, there's 3 on the left, there's 2 on the right, those 2 are standing back, they're probably not going to do anything unless like they're told to do something, so I can save them for later. And then looks to the side and goes, okay, there's a paint bucket on the ground, there's a plant thing there, I've got this pen in my pocket, I've got this other thing in my other pocket, I got my backpack. Like, he just assesses everything that he's got and develops a plan and goes for it. And so it's like, even though he's a bad fighter, he just uses all of these advantages that he's got, you know? It's the equivalent of in like Dead by Daylight, like throwing the pallet down on the killer. Like, if you're in a one-on-one fight with the killer, you've lost. That's it. You can't win. But if you are able to, like, you know, lead the killer through and then hit him with the pallet, you can stun him and stuff. But the problem is that's finite. So in the same way, you know, he's analyzed the situation, he's analyzed everything around him, but he basically needs all of that to work so that he can get away and it's all fine, you know? But as soon as he was out of all of that stuff and the finite resources he had ran out, then he couldn't do anything else. So that's why he needed the others to come in. But I really liked it. I like seeing Obum Seok. I liked seeing him like feel guilty for what happened in the first episode and try to apologize. It didn't really work, but then he, like, you know, he actually, like, when it mattered, stepped up. And I'm not talking about when he went in and pushed the guy over. Like, that was good as well, but I didn't need him to do that. But just like he saw that the guy was about to be hurt, and he went to the person who could do something about it and offered his own money, which is very honorable, I think. Like, double his salary just to save someone that you like don't really know that well. It's really great. I really like it. And someone who kind of brushed you off as well. Like, the fact that he still did that even after Yoon Si-eun Yoon Si-eun, even after he was like, I'm not going to accept your apology and I don't care. Like, he wasn't even saying like, I'm angry at you and like fuck off, but it felt like he was just saying like, look, I don't care about why you did it. I don't care about you at all. I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Like, that's what it felt like to me. But at the end, when they were all sharing a meal together and he was saying like, look, I'm sorry. He threatened me. He made me do it. But like, I'm really sorry that I did it. I didn't know what it was going to do. And the protagonist was like, it's okay. I know, but it's okay. I really liked that because that was him accepting his apology. And also, and he wasn't being like, I don't care about you anymore. Instead, he was actually giving him a genuine and kind of like emotional answer. And I think my favorite thing was when they were doing the whole food in the mouth thing and he got him to eat the food. I feel like on the protagonist's face, there was like the slightest smile, you know, like his face wasn't smiling. It feels like his eyes were smiling though, which when he's tired all the time, like that's a big difference. So just the fact that it feels like he was having this food shoved in his mouth and he was like looking up at him, and like it was just this really nice moment. Now, of course, that could be the actor finding the scene very funny that he had this food shoved in his mouth and is trying not to laugh and couldn't hide it in his eyes. Of course, that could be the case, but it works very well for the character regardless. So I think it was an actual deliberate choice on the actor, or it wasn't a deliberate choice for the actor, but it worked well for the scene anyway, so they kept it. Because that happens as well sometimes. I was once doing, because I've done acting in the past, I'm with an agency, and when I first joined the agency, they got us to do these classes to just see where we're at, you know? And so I went to the classes and I was doing them, and there was a monologue that I had to perform, and I did this monologue where I was playing like the devil or whatever, and there was one bit where at the end of the scene, like I finished the scene and I was just like holding a face, and they keep rolling the camera for a little while after you finish the scene just to see if there's any more changes that you do, and I was like holding my face or whatever, and then my mouth, or I think it was either my mouth or my eye, I think it was my mouth, started twitching, just like really rapidly twitching. I was not doing it. I wasn't purposefully doing that as a choice. And I was actually kind of embarrassed about it. But then when we were watching it back, the woman who was running the class, she was like, look at that twitch. Like look at that. Like, and it didn't matter whether or not I did it on purpose. But the point is, for the scene, it worked. It really worked because it was like this kind of unsettling looking twitch from this character who's like a devil in disguise. So I think it worked very nicely, and that's why it doesn't really matter if it was the actor smiling with his eyes or the character smiling with his eyes. Both work, because I believe the character would be smiling with his eyes in that moment. But anyway, and the final thing I just wanted to say was just that, like, the main character, he keeps going to people and just saying, just stop. Like, that's it. That's all I'm asking. I just want to study. Like, literally, I just want to come here, do my tests, go home and study. Like, there's no reason for you to be continuously doing this. And yet, like, everyone else is just so full of pride that they're like, we can't let this motherfucker just study. Well, there's no way we're gonna let this motherfucker just study. We're gonna make sure he feels pain every second, you know? It's just like, it's a horrifying, like, that's clearly a big part of the theming of the show, is just like how senseless the bullying is. And that's what high school bullying is about. It's senseless, it's stupid, it's for morons. Like, It's horrible to watch, and it makes me like, it blows my mind how when I think about it, I think back to the people who did like major bullying and I'm talking about like traditional bullying. I understand how people can fall into the trap of like sort of accidentally bullying people, right? Where they are kind of like, they fall into the trap of just being very emotionally manipulative to people. I can understand how people can accidentally do that, right? But when it comes to being a traditional bully like these guys are, these kinds of people exist for sure. I went to high school. I know people like this exist. I mean, adults like this exist, but they also like consume media in the same way we do. Do they not watch things like this? Like things where there are clearly like bullies in the shows and they're clearly put to be like douchebags who deserve to be beat up and thrown off the side of a cliff, you know? Like, do they not watch that and go, huh, maybe that's not what I should be aspiring to be? But I guess they just don't think about it, you know? They watch this stuff. Who cares what happens here? They probably watch it and go like, oh, this main dude's a wimp anyway. Like, fuck this dude. And then they just go to school and just do whatever feels right for them, which is, you know, treating people like shit. It's just crazy to me. It's just absolutely insane. Like, you know, you can tell I was never like a traditional bully just by looking at me. Like, look, I'm a freaking weird, skinny white kid. Like, obviously, not to say weird, skinny white kids can't be bullies, but like, I was never going to be the type of dude who like towers over a dude and goes, hey, give me your lunch money, pal. Like, it was just never, like, just with this form, with this voice, with this body, nah, it wasn't gonna happen. But I've always found that like dumbfounding to me. It's just insane. And I'm a person who I can empathize with a lot of people, I think, and I tend to see the good in people and things as much as I possibly can. But it's just like when it just makes no sense like that, it's crazy to me. Anyway, doesn't matter. That has no bearing on the show. That's the end of the second episode. I really am enjoying the show so far. I really want to keep watching it. If you want me to keep watching it and you want to see more of this, then like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. All that stuff really helps me out. Go down to the description if you want to see my Patreon account where I have full-length reactions, as well as the next episode should be on there right now. So if you want to go see episode 3 right now, go onto my Patreon account, check it out. Hopefully it should be there now. If it's not, please wait patiently. You can also check my Twitter or whatever if I give updates. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.